Did you hear about the red and blue ships that collided? All the sailors were marooned. Hi everyone, Busy Gamer Dad doing our third and final session recording for God of Weapons here on the Busy Gamer Dad channel. We're taking a look at a game over the course of 3 episodes. Like I said, this being our third and final episode with this game. If you don't know what this game is from the other 2 episodes, I encourage you to go back and take a look at this. But this game is basically a Vampire Survivors, Bullet Hell, Bullet Heaven kind of game with a lot of inventory management as well as RNG for your level ups and things like that. You have 20 floors. You can pick a lot of difficulties. You can go through a lot of min-maxing if you want to, or you can just sit down and play a match or two for the busy gamer. Typically runs seem to last around 20 to 30 minutes depending on how long you spend in between each level to itemize yourself essentially, and we'll get into that when we get into the game proper. But when we last left off, I had not done a gameplay with the Raven, I believe. Since then, I have gotten myself into a lot of trouble because I have unlocked several other characters here. I've unlocked the Barbarian, the Duelist, the Wizard, as well as the Raven. And there's a bunch of other ones here that you can see that, you know, you have 50 movement speed. There's one, I believe you have to defeat the end boss. Defeat the end boss on difficulty 2. So they're very specific criteria, and when you do this, it doesn't mean that you have to have this at the end of the run like these ones here. You can get the 60% lifesteal threshold and then change your gear loadout entirely. Totally up to you, totally however you want to do it. Same thing with the armor here, and I believe this one, the Duelist was crit. I had to get crit up to like 65% or something like that, and then this is just simply win a run, any run, with any character on level 3 difficulty. So I'm not going to try and explain everything that's going on, but suffice to say that you have a whole cast of characters that you can pick from, and if you click on each one of them, there are variants to each character, and they also have they themselves very specific criteria to unlock to allow for different gameplay. So this game has a lot of replayability, and that's also what I kind of look for with a session gameplay, something that's got a lot of replayability, something that is something you can sink a lot of time into, but also not something that takes a lot of time, because you can very focused and very effectively get through any of these achievements if you want to. This is from, you know, what I've unlocked so far is probably from about, I would say 4 hours of gameplay in total, maybe 6 hours of gameplay in total. And you can see I'm pretty much halfway through the character roster to get through, and that's just not doing anything to focus on any of those in particular things. This is just playing the game. So that's what I like about these games. Now, you can play this game also with keyboard and mouse as well as controller, up to you, however you want to do it. What I'm going to do for us right now, I just unlocked the Thief, so I want to try it. I like playing the Thief characters. You get a lot of... almost analysis paralysis is what I'm going to call it. You will definitely have a lot of struggle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for level 2, because as you can see from the character up here, we have to defeat Zhor, the Overlord. He appears at the end. He's the last boss. So he only appears in level 2 or greater. I'm not certain about any of these upper ones. As you can see, there's 5 levels of difficulty. This is available to any of the characters that you unlock at any time. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to do this, and then to further augment your playstyle, here's your meta progression. You can go in here, and this is free refunds, and you can apply these buffs to whatever character you're running, and enjoy, and play, and have fun, and just jump right into it. So I'm going to jump into... We need projectiles, because we're on the rogue character. We're going to be throwing daggers, we're going to be doing a lot of melee strikes. Luck is really good. Dash is pretty nice. I think the range of pickups is going to be pretty important for us. Price for consumables, that's not terrible. Let's see here. Tier up. Starting weapons, tier up. That's only helpful for the first starting weapons. I think what I'm going to try and do for us here is, we did melee power. Let's do luck. Luck is actually really helpful. And for the last one, in between each floor, we'll get 2 HP. Something like that. Yeah, restore 2 HP at the end of each floor. Cool, awesome, off we go. I haven't actually figured out what these keys are for yet. So if you happen to know in the comments, please let me know. And while you're down there, I will have a link for the game if you want to see where you can get this game for yourself. And if you feel so inclined, please do hit the subscribe button. That lets me know that you guys are digging the content and really enjoying things. But right now, this is the game. This is it. I'm WASD. I no longer need my mouse. This is just one hand on the keyboard. Sit back, relax, enjoy, run around the map. I'm pressing spacebar to dash through. You're running around trying to get as much of the stuff as you possibly can. Movement speed is kind of the big thing here. Also, one of the bigger things for you as a player in this game is barrels. You'll just see those two drop right there. And we unfortunately didn't get those broken before time ran out for us. Now, what do I want to try and do here? I could do movement speed. I could try and do vampirism. I'm not entirely sure. Or I could just try and beat the game, essentially is what it comes down to. But at the end of every level, we get to pick where we want to put some tiles for our loot crate to grow and our stash of weapons to grow along with it. We need to be very patient, is what I will call it, because you need to know that there's a lot of synergy, a lot of interplay on weapons, especially with your character's unique item. So make sure you're trying to maximize the utility around said item. Now, to that end, what I'm planning on doing is I'm actually going to drop this guy over here, rotate this, like that. And I'm going to pick this guy up and drop him right there. And I can mouse over it, and you can see that everything is now collected. Looks like we're pretty good. Got some ranged weapons going. I'm not going to reroll. It'd be kind of silly for me to reroll. Now I'm going to have to go into here. So the rapid crossbow, because we have such high attack speed, is just doing work. I did not expect this to happen. This is my first time playing the thief character, and we are just ripping these guys apart with the attack speed. So I think we're going to go for a ranged build with this character, and maybe throw some daggers in on that. The daggers would probably be really helpful because there are melee daggers to collect that would be very helpful for late game, especially if we can get some level ups for that as we go along. This is a ranged swift dagger to throw. Now you'll see the order of operations is every single time we complete a level, we have to place these tiles if we gained a level. So that is, priority one, and make sure that you're growing your loot box effectively. And this is almost like saving for retirement, because your future really does depend on it. Let's see here. How do I want to handle this guy? I think I can do this. Let's do this. Drop that there. Bam, right there. Everything is getting affected now. We have 120 to play with for that. I don't need to heal. We just picked up a heal from one of the crates. I don't really have too much magic power dodge chance. Let's get this for now. This will help us with some hoarding of some important resources, essentially. Now, I don't know if I can actually do what I want to do here. We have 4 slots, but we don't have them in a way that gives us utility to get this. So what I can do, and what I hesitantly recommend you do, is you can actually right click and lock it, and this stays in between each level, or it stays when you reroll. I will simply say do that at your own caution, because if you wind up with a circumstance where you lock something, this slot doesn't refresh in between runs, so I would almost rather, or in between levels, so I almost rather you just not have it. That's really what I would almost suggest you do, is not have it. So I'm going to leave this open for right now, and we can go fishing later. There are other items that you can get that allow you to upgrade weapons, but the path for upgrading weapons is you have to have 3 of a kind, and then you'll upgrade the weapons, and they'll go from level 1 to level 4 is the max, I believe, that any one given weapon can go. Now this strictly applies and only applies to weapons. There are levels associated with your gear, and that is not anything that can change. You cannot combine gear. It does not allow you to combine gear. This game will not allow you to combine gear. So you have to be looking. So you can't get 3 whetstones and make a tier 2 whetstone. These mushrooms, you can't combine them. The combination factors only apply strictly to the weapons, god of weapons. That's where it comes from. That's just the whole thing. I've had the best luck growing left to right when I build these crates out, build my loot box out. I want to know if I should grab this. This is a really helpful item. But the problem with it is if you don't get enough of them, they tend to fall off, is what it comes down to. For each adjacent axe, we don't have any other axes right now. This is really helpful, though, with where our build is currently going. So I am going to pick this guy up. So what I'm going to do is if I do this, and then I'm going to put this outside for right now. Actually, can I do that right here? Turn this, and then this is only affecting the ranged weapon there. I thought it would affect the throwing knife as well. I learned something, so it doesn't. It only goes for projectiles, which is this right here. This is not a projectile. Got it. Noted. So these two adjacent daggers are getting bonus from this. So if I can some way change that there. So now these two are getting that. And you'll see the tooltips. This game is tooltip very well. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I appreciate a good tooltip to tell me what I'm doing wrong when I go through this. Attack speed is universal. 1 minus for projectile power is kind of a bad thing, but at the same time we have... Let's do this for now, and if it causes us grief, we can change it out. Oh, no. Actually, you know what? I just picked this up and I'm going to sell it. This to me is probably one of the most powerful low tier items that you can possibly get. And I'm going to pick up the dice, and then we're just going to move on because our loot box is full. Like I said, you can spend a lot of time min-maxing, an absolute mind-boggling amount of time min-maxing what you can RNG, and you get infinite rerolls. Depending, well, I say infinite, it costs you money to reroll that increases over time for the number of rerolls that you do. But you can certainly invest a lot of time in between levels to getting certain gear that you're looking for, and in fact you really should. There is something to be said about investing the time to pull or try and RNG what you need for certain gear sets or for certain level ups and things like that. It really is helpful to do that, but again, you have to do that with a grain of salt because you don't want to, if you're gaming on a budget, essentially, if you're looking to try and spend some time, with your significant other, or you have schoolwork to do or something like that, then obviously don't do this. Don't do that. So I'm going to drop this right here. Now, this is really important to realize, and I wonder if I can show you here. I don't think I'm going to be able to show you here. No, it doesn't look like I will unless I get another one that shows up. Let me see if I can go fishing real quick. This isn't terrible. This will be really helpful for us, but we do lose armor, so that means we're going to be a little bit squishier. We have another resource there. Do I want to pick that up for now? I will for right now. And then we're going to keep on going through, looking for the thing I'm looking for. I don't see it coming through the door. Nope, that is not what I wanted. One more time. Shoot. All right, last time. Nope, not here. Okay, maybe we'll get it next time. So what I was trying to show you is the items. They have personalities, uniqueness, and that's great. That's awesome. You want to make sure you're reading the tooltips because in this case, what I was looking at is I was trying to find a third ebony dagger. The ebony daggers, when you kill an enemy with them, they get a permanent increase to the amount of damage that they deal. And I'll show you, I'll mouse over it and you'll see. And so that's why you want to use them early on and often if you do go that build set. I did that with one of my other characters, the Weapon Master, and it was really powerful build. It was a truly powerful build. But what ended up happening was I actually was not aware of the limitations of such a build. So there are pluses and minuses to everything you do in this game. You want to make sure that you are realizing that. Now, this is something I've always wanted to try, but I just don't have the slots to use this right now. I can lock it and see if we can get it back later. I'm going to hold off on doing it right now. I'm trying to fish for another ebony dagger. But really, this game just does not want me to have another ebony dagger. This would be really good to get, but I don't have a space for it right now. There we are. Great. Awesome. Got the ebony dagger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag you, put you outside, bring the ebony dagger in here. Okay. So 7, 41, 0. Right click, combined. It combines everything. So keep that in mind when you scale up the ebony dagger. This is probably one of the sleeper powerhouse weapons that you can possibly get. But again, only if you're going for that build, only if you're going for that playstyle. Don't do that if you're not going for that playstyle. Don't do that if you're not looking to try and capitalize on the synergy of that kind of a thing. Now, this is going to be huge for us. Adjacent melee weapons gain a bonus +1 for each 2 projectile power. So we want this. This is really helpful, especially this early on. I don't know how I'm going to get this in here. I can probably... Is it 3 across and 1 down? It is 3 across and 1 down. So if I do you to there... Drop you there, there. That's not going to help me. That's not going to get me where I need it to be. So I will have to figure some way out with moving you out here. There. It's only going to give it to that one. Or would it give it to you as well? It would. Great. Awesome. Now how can I get you to where you need to be? If I drop you up here, if I put you here, we're not getting synergy there. That's not helpful. So if I were to rotate you, is that going to help? Maybe it's time to remove the daggers. It might be time to get rid of the daggers. I don't want to, but it might be. But an alternative would be to simply do this for right now and leave it where it lies, and we can go at it next round because we don't have a lot of gold to go fishing anyways. And that's the fun part about it, is like you can spend, if you're like me, I love reading and seeing where I can min-max, and this game really had me scratching my head on how I can. There's a bunch of mini games in the major game is really what I believe the best way of describing this game to anybody is, because my wife asked me about this game. She said, what are you playing? Because like I said, I got in trouble playing this game because I just lost track of time, and we had a lot of stuff going on. Like, I'm actually repainting my garage this summer, and this spring, I should say, and I was not doing what I needed to do because I was like, oh, it's raining. I guess I can't do that. Shucks. Oh, darn. I'm going to go inside and play video games. And then she just happened to come around the corner and be like, what are you doing? You should be outside painting. And I shook my head, and I'm like, nope, raining, can't do it. And she's like, no, no, no. No, you can go paint. And I was like, okay, yes, dear. In the most loving way possible. In the most absolute loving way possible. She was very supportive of this and everything that I've done, but she was also called me on my BS. Anyways, back to what you guys are more interested in is we got a tier 3 crossbow. I think that's going to be really helpful. For this, I have not been able to show you guys any of the... Now, can I get... I really want to try, and I can't... I needed to grow this way, but I wasn't getting the slots for that. This is actually pretty helpful. The monocle is a pretty good early item to get that I found. Ooh, this may just have changed everything. Yeah, I think if I swap you out, sell you, drop you in, that gives me some more important space. Okay, so let me cancel this. Let me bring you out. No, go there. And you go there. Yep. Each adjacent dagger, 10% attack speed. Nice. Now, if I were to bring you out, is there a way I can try and do this? This is the fun part. I lose myself in this all the time because I just enjoy the fiddly diddly inventoriness of it all. So if I drop you here, that gives them there, but we got this blank space here that I would really love to capitalize on. So if I go like this, put you there, then everything in that range is getting affected. And I can bring you around, and you can drop and hit those two with your buff. Yes, we made it work. Nice. And we have a lot of real estate to play with. These huge weapons are awesome and fun to play with, and they just really change your all aspects for the better, honestly. We're getting a lot of the weapon handles, so I'm going to pick them up. And there we go. We just unlocked. You saw it in the corner right there. Attack speed went up to, where are we at? Where's our attack speed? Max health, attack speed. 86 attack speed. So we just unlocked, I believe, a subclass for one of the characters. Movement speed and luck. That's going to be huge. And then, do I want to get this? Melee power, magic power. Throwing hammer. Let's see, one more time. Oh, wow. I've never seen the great axe before. Whirlwind. Woo, that seems fun. No, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to grab one of you, and we're going to go off to the races. Because you also do want to spend the time in the inventory simply because you want to use the money. The money, you don't carry money over. So if you're not spending the money fishing in between levels, you're effectively really stifling the amount of growth your character can obtain. There's a lot of fiddly-diddly items that are unique, like they have several items that are, like more barrels are generated, or you drink this potion and it gives you a buff, but at the cost of you have to fight an elite in the next round. Or you lose 5 full life points, but you get 5 crit %. You know, things like that are really unique ways, I think, that inject a level of like, hey, I'm customizing this character to be exactly the way I want it to be. And you know, you really have a lot of agency and a lot of ownership over the growth of your character. So it's really a lot of fun. We're not currently doing anything with magic, so this elf shot isn't really helpful for us. So I'm going to reroll. Let's see here. The vitality melee, no magic still. We have a lot of movement speed, so we can sacrifice a little bit of it to get some power. I think I'm going to do that. And then we could get another weapon handle? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the handle wrap. Let's just see. And then we'll reroll again. And then we've got this guy right here. Crit chance attack speed. You know, whatever. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's roll off. Nice. Awesome. Cool. When I was the archer, the ranger, the weapons kept on randomly firing, and I was like, is there a bug? Like, I jump into a floor and I'd be like shooting, and I'm like, what is it shooting at? It was shooting at the dang pots inside the level. And I was very confused as to what it was shooting at. And once I ran around the room and destroyed the pots and pans, or pots and vessels and things like that, the, you know, destructible inventory stuff or destructible level stuff, it chilled out. So as you can see though, the game's auto targeting is actually pretty smart. It's really robust. It does a really decent job, especially with, you know, character builds or character races, classes, whatever you want to call them, that really rely on that for prioritizing your level or not your level, but your character's targeting essentially. So we only got 2 this time, so I'm gonna go down this way. Do I want to do the auto crossbow? We don't have space for it right now, so I'm going to reroll. We don't have anything. We can do another weapon thing there, but magic power. We don't have anything magical, so I'm actually going to go lifesteal. I'm going to start building in some lifesteal, and we're going to fish a little bit because I don't see. Like, we need to start changing out some weapons, and we do have a lot of money to do that, so nothing there. This is too big for our current confined space. They do have fist weapons as well, if you want to be a pugilist or something like that. Not pugilist, but a fisticuffed fighter. This is actually kind of helpful, but we don't really have space for it at this point, and we can always fish for it later. There is one of those, our daggers right there, but if I had only locked it, maybe. One more time. There. This is the item I was talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this out. And I'm going to pull this in right here. And I'm actually going to upgrade. Having a level 4 right now would be really helpful. So I'm going to do that. Bam, right there. And then we'll drop this in, and then we'll get ourselves back onto the next floor. And so that's the rapid flow. You see that we're spending the terrain is also something that varies. It's very rapid fire, this game. You know, you can be very weak starting on, like the I think the wizard is probably not the wizard, the warlock is probably one of the weaker ones that I've played starting off. But once I get them a few upgrades, a few spell slots, and when I say spell slots, I mean like gear slots, and get the staffs going and the magical items going, they're actually a pretty strong powerhouse. I think in our second video I tried to do the no movement strat and just had some fun with that, and it wound up being that I was able to really get through like 3 to 5 levels just doing that, and it was pretty funny. And I think that that's where also a lot of the fun factor comes in, is trying those no movement levels, or no movement challenges, as it were. We did get 2 levels that time, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sure, off there. And let's see here, what can we get? If you ever see the anvil, do not pass it up. That's just the piece of advice I can give you. I want this to upgrade right there, and now that's a level 4. Nice. Okay, now we really need to start changing out these weapons. We need to get a better dagger, we need to get some better throwing weapons, something. And I don't see that happening. This is the item I was talking about with the barrels. I don't know how I can crowbar that in, so I'm going to leave it on the table for now. There is another ebony dagger, so if we get this and start that rolling, that might be where we go for right now. Let's do a little bit of fishing. This is not a bad item, but we lose a lot of vitality. Not that we're really like hurting for it. You know what? Let's grab it for now, and then let's get on to the next floor, because we're almost coming up on our time together, and I want to try and push this build as fast and as far as I can go. So on this floor, there should be a mini boss. There they are, right there. You can tell they're a mini boss because they are red. The main boss has a life bar above his head. I would like that for all the mini bosses, but again, not a requirement. And you can defeat the mini bosses. In fact, it's recommended, in my opinion, to really defeat the mini bosses and get yourself some of the achievements that you can unlock for that. And I think there's a subclass, or actually a character, where if you defeat like 3 elites, you get that character, or you get that subclass for one of the characters that you start off with. So you do want to try and target that as best you can. We are pretty strong right now, judging from the fact that I'm chasing the enemy and I'm not running away from them. That's kind of my temperature gauge on how strong I am as a character, if I'm doing well. Later on in the level 1 and 2, or level 2 and 3 I should say, you will be running away from the mobs. You will, absolutely. There's no way around it. I'm going to grow that way. I'm going to drop this guy right here. If you can't fish for it, you might as well just buy it and upgrade it yourself. Bam. Okay, cool. Now, an argument could be said to upgrade this ebony dagger to tier 2 and fish for a tier 2 ebony dagger. That might show up, might not show up. Totally random. Not sure. Let's see here. So we have some movement speed. Dodge chance for each 1% movement speed, plus 1 luck for each 1% movement speed. Our movement speed is at 6, so that's 6 luck. That's not bad. I think that's probably where I'd like to... You know what? I think I'm going to do it, just to do that. And then let's see. Of course, we get another anvil. So I'm going to drop this out. And the luck also plays into, I believe, the anvils. I really do. I think that that's where... oh, no, I want the ranged weapon. Upgrade this to a level 4. Max this out right now. Right there. Perfect. And then let's reroll again. Let's do another one. Projectile weapons. Not really helpful. Swords are okay, but we don't really have a lot of swords in our inventory at the moment. Fishing, fishing, fishing. Going for the things. Crit chance, but damage lost. This ceremonial dagger is pretty cool, but again, we don't really have space for it right now. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave what we have right now. You know, one more time. There it is right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell this one. I'm going to buy this one, and then we'll get to the next floor. All right, where's my enemies at? Where are you at? Where are you at? I forgot, are we in level 2? Are we doing level 2 difficulty? I think we're doing level 2 difficulty. Oh, good. A free level up is huge. That's really nice to get those. So, the barrels item is actually, I think, also in my opinion, a sleeper successful item. Like, if you are struggling to get by in any circumstances for any builds or any characters, try and fish out those barrel drop items, because those are really helpful. Because they not only give you gold, they also give you level ups, they also give you food, they give you bombs, and the bombs blow up and hurt the enemy. So really helpful overall. So keep that in mind for your playthrough if you're looking for something that's like, I can't get this type of character to work, or I can't get this type of build to work. Try doing a barrel build. Try doing like getting 2 or 3 of those barrels in your inventory, barrel items in your inventory, and those will really help out. I really do believe that. Let's see here. Throwing hammer, not bad. This is not ideal for what we got going on, because I hate nerfing our damage even though we have such high attack speed. We could get another cube. That'd be fine, but we don't really need it. Enemy amount is not terrible, because then you're you know, if you're doing well, you're doing well. What is this thing? Sacred Leaf. Restore health equal to armor at the beginning of every floor. Oh. That's not bad. That's actually a really nice item. I've never seen that before. So again, there's a wide variety of items that I have not seen ever. In the interest of fun, I'm going to do this. We're going to use that potion. So we took a little bit off of our overall life, and we're going to see what happens with it. I'm going to fish out a couple more things. Here's the barrel item that I was talking about before. Movement speed. I think we have a pretty high amount of movement speed, but I'm going to grab this guy right here. Do I have something that's like 1 slot? Something that's like a 1 slot item. That would be great. Nothing. Oh, there's our ceremonial dagger. So I'm glad I stuck around for that, because then that frees up even more space for us. Right there. So if I... Oh, no. I want to cancel. I want to put you right there. And I want to put you right there. And so now I am left with a tier 4 dagger. Don't mind if I do. That was a huge get. That was a huge get. Now how can I get... Oh, this is so frustrating. I need something right here, because I'm missing this space right here. I don't have... Oh, fine. I'll do this for now. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Each adjacent dagger. Crit chance. But this is now up here. This one is attack speed. So I guess we're kind of doing that. And then projectile power I can't do anything with because we're broke. All right, cool. This might be the last one. And oh, we're up on our time. I am so sorry. Like I said, I lost track of time when I was playing this game and I got yelled at. Thank you so much for stopping by on the Busy Gamer Dad channel. This was God of Weapons, taking a look at it. I highly recommend this game if you are interested in something that's fiddly diddly RNG, but also like a vampire survivor, bullet hell, bullet heaven kind of game. Super fun. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of unique items that I haven't even seen yet. There's certainly meta builds and things like that. There is a forge in the weapons, or in the town hub, the central hub, where you can start building weapons using certain items and reagents that you get out on the floor. All the Titanite shards is what I would call them, but I don't think they're Titanite shards. I think they're called Titanite shards or something like that. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more of the session gameplay series or our long plays here on the Busy Gamer Dad channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you next week where we pick up a brand new game to take a look at. Later.